Tories flustered, Labour lack-lustered, and Lib Dems can't cut the mustard. These are the interesting times. Hello all, my name's Matt Johnson and welcome to The Interesting Times, a show that likes to take a sideways swipe at politics right here in the UK. And on Tuesday, Boris was dragged in front of the liaison committee. Now, there used to be a television show on ITV in the 80s called Take Your Pick. And the idea would be that the host would ask contestants a series of questions and they weren't allowed to say yes or no. Now, why am I mentioning this piece of tele-nostalgia?
Very crowds a yes or no answer. Will the goods vehicle movement service be ready by January?
Well, as I said, we're doing everything in our power to get ready. There's a massive amount of work going on to get business ready. We're investing in border preparedness, about 705 million going into that. Anybody who needs advice, needs to know what to do. We have government websites set up for the purpose. A huge programme of engagement is going on.
But will it be ready?
I believe that we will get through it, and of course there may be difficulties, but we will get through it very well.
So is that
about 15 seconds left?
Is that
I don't think a generation has elapsed.
Is that a yes or a no?
It is a statement of the obvious that I don't think a generation has elapsed.
So it's a no to a Section 30, regardless of the wishes of the Scottish people.
To be fair, the writing was on the wall. This was the very first question given to him by the liaison chairman, Sir Bernard Jenkins.
And therefore, if you would hopefully respond positively to an invitation to appear again before Christmas.
Well, Bernard, can I say and to thank how much I enjoyed my last appearance before your committee, and I'm pleased I am to be here today. And of course, I will. I know that Prime Ministers typically try to come to the liaison committee at least 3 times a year. This has been an exceptional year, but I will make sure that I look carefully at my diary and do my utmost to oblige your distinguished committee.
Shut up! Shut up! What's the matter with you? Take a breath. But the PM is clearly concerned, and with good reason. Coronavirus cases are rising around the country, and the Prime Minister is clear about where the problem lies. The problem is the big prick. Sorry, I meant spike. Big spike in people wanting tests. Well, it's not like the surge in demand at this time of year could have been predicted.
The surge in demand for testing in this, as we enter autumn, was extremely predictable, particularly because we expected COVID cases to increase again as autumn comes, which we're seeing they are, but also we were expecting COVID-like symptoms from conditions such as the common cold and flu to increase too, and both of those combined for an increased demand in testing.
Exactly, and add to that the Eat Out to Help Out scheme put in place by the government, and it's not like the government's guidance wasn't clear.
Well, I mean, we had the other graph, the other thing that had red at the top, which was like red for danger, and then we had green at the bottom where there's nothing, right? So there's no longer nothing's present in the. What does 4, 3, and 2 actually mean?
People were saying
there's nothing written on there.
Absolutely meaningless.
But we're going to be okay. Jacob's on the case.
And the Prime Minister is expecting that to go up to 500,000 people a day by the end of October. And instead of this endless carping, saying it's difficult to get them.
Well, that seems a bit rude. And carping? Not sure that somebody that looks that much like a worm should be doing fish puns. Anyway, it was this government which encouraged people to get tests.
Every day we're creating more capacity, and that means more people can be tested, and the virus has fewer places to hide. Today, I can announce to the House that everyone aged 5 and over with symptoms is now eligible for a test.
And then boasted about how many they were doing. We are living in unpredictable, some might say even interesting times. Not now. So, We need someone we can rely on. The Americans are looking for a reassuring, knowledgeable individual with a quintessentially British calming presence that lets the Americans know we know what we're talking about and we don't get flustered easily. So we sent them, no. Nice idea, but no. Nope. Oh, a real person, but dead. So, no. Yeah, close enough. Dominic Raab, the Johnny English of James Bond's, has flown to America to... Actually, why are you there?
Mike and I had a good discussion today on a range of issues. I also was very pleased to meet with USAID officials following the UK merger of our Department for Development with the Foreign Office.
Okay, great. Pretty sure you could have zoomed all of that, but no matter. What else?
We also talked about our shared concerns on Xinjiang and Hong Kong, the people of which are suffering very serious human rights abuses. We urge China to live up to its international obligations.
So that was lovely, Dominic and Mike. Mike and Dominic, best American-British double act since... But does it work with the music? Oh, it so works with the music. But they weren't quite done with the Bon Army yet. On to the questions.
Hello, Ron Brown, BBC News.
Uh-oh.
Secretary of State, what was your reaction when you heard the UK's Northern Ireland Secretary tell MPs at Westminster that the UK government's actions to lay the groundwork to break its agreement with the European Union, quote, does break international law?
From the UK's point of view, I've had very positive discussions, not just with Mike and the administration, but also with congressmen and women from both sides of the political aisle, if I can put it that way, and we continue to discuss, and I'll see Nancy Pelosi later.
Oh, you certainly will.
I think it's a great opportunity for me to be clear that the threat to the Good Friday Agreement in the, as it's reflected in the Northern Ireland Protocol has come from the EU's politicisation of the issue.
Yeah, bloody EU playing politics with their politicisation of the political situation involved with the Good Friday Agreement. But it's not just the Senate Dom's got to convince. Here is possible future US President, if there's a God, Joe Biden telling the UK government how things are, just in case Nancy didn't make it clear the other day.
Joe Biden has caused fury among some Conservative MPs for appearing to threaten the UK-US trade deal if the UK does not scrap its controversial internal market bill.
The EU themselves have carried on with their insistence that we agree to the agreement that we agreed on.
And this agreement has been ratified by this House and by the House of Commons. It cannot be unilaterally changed, disregarded or disapplied.
Bloody Brussels! Ah, but Boris has a question.
What would Margaret Thatcher have done?
And the EU president had an answer.
I remind you of the words of Margaret Thatcher. I quote, "Britain does not break treaties. It would be bad for Britain, bad for relations with the rest of the world, and bad for any future treaty on trade." End of quote.
There we have the Iron Lady providing an answer for the mashed potato man. Now, I talk a lot on this show about the Tories and Boris because well, it's a comedy show and they're funny. But there are other political parties out there. The party in opposition is called the Labour Party, and they were led by this guy, Jeremy Corbyn. And it's clear Keir Starmer, the current Labour leader, would rather you forgot that little nugget of knowledge. He's following the path of the Tories by putting out three-word slogans. And a new one they've come up with is a new leadership. What? Wait, what? Okay, well, first thing, it isn't new leadership. You were the leader before this slogan, when the last slogan was under new management. Presumably, they'd already discarded I'm not Corbyn, and honestly, I'm not, and I'm clean shaven. I get it. Not being Corbyn worked for Johnson in December very well, Putting aside a new leadership when it's the old leadership gives you the repetitive nature equivalent of a DFS closing down sale is just so uninspiring, insipid. We surely want a new direction for the country, especially after all the crap and catastrophe over the last year. So with that in mind, Starmer can rake in far more votes, not by telling people he's not Corbyn, but that he's not Johnson. So catchy three-word slogans, how about bland, not blonde? Not only that, but the Lib Dems have also got a new leader, following Jo Swinson losing her seat at the last election. The leadership contest was between Moran and Dave Eddy. Yeah, Dave Eddy. And Dave won. All right. It happened last month, but you had more important things to think about, be honest. So what do we know about this guy? Well, after finishing Oxford with a first-class degree in politics, he went to work with the Lib Dems, shortly after which MI6 tried to recruit him, as well as winning a Heroes Award for pulling a woman off the tracks and out of the way of an oncoming train. Wait, is this true? It does sound like Batman's origin story. All right, so he has also said that he will not campaign to rejoin the EU. He will not campaign to rejoin the EU. Are you kidding? Well, what about the fact that just about every poll now puts Remain at least 5 points ahead of Leave, and in general elections, more people have voted for Remain parties? Oh well, less Batman, more Joker. Oh, thank you all so much for watching. I do hope you're enjoying these vids, and if you are, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notifications bell. Make sure you don't miss another. And I'll see you all next Monday. Take care.
Yeah, I was there. I was there that day. Never forget it, too. See, we had the champ. This guy was king of the world. Boris, man, he was taking on all comers and putting them away. And he could work people over with his three-word combinations.
Build back better and to build back bolder to get Brexit done.
Yeah, punchy. So he's been having a few problems of late. But I figure, hey, nothing he can't handle, right? Then we get to the day of the fight, the PMQ Heavyweight Championship. But the regular schmo, he's sick, can't do it. So they're getting a last-minute replacement, Ed Miliband. A real Joe Palooka, and we all laughing our asses off. I mean, this schmuck, right? He couldn't even put away a bacon sandwich, for Christ's sake. Yeah, we wasn't laughing long. I knew something was up. Miliband was jabbing away, and I was trying to tell Johnson, this is the Labour Party. Watch the left. Watch the left.
This bill speaks of a government, a Prime Minister that is casual, not to say cavalier, and reckless about the gravity of the issues he confronts.
But things weren't going to plan. Then following on from that, Miliband starts with the hooks, and they're landing.
What the Prime Minister is coming to this House to tell us today is that his flagship achievement, the deal he told us was a triumph, the deal he said, as I said, that was oven ready, the deal on which he fought and won the general election, is now contradictory and ambiguous. Madam Deputy Speaker, what incompetence.
Then things got ugly.
This is his deal. It's his mess. It's his failure. For the first time in his life, it's time to take responsibility.
At this point, Johnson's got nothing. He's just shaking his head, doesn't know where he is. And Miliband then starts playing with him, putting him down time after time. And then after putting him down again with humiliation, he starts taunting him. Get up, he says. Come on, get up.
Come on, tell us what clause protects the threat that he says he's worried about GB to Northern Ireland exports. I give way to him.
And that was it, all over, and I looked into Johnson's eyes. The eyes that just a few months ago had had the world at their feet. And I saw a man beaten. King of the world, he wasn't even champ of the chumps. We left straight after the fight. Me, Johnson, Dom, the Truth Twister Cummings, and Mickey don't give me no drugs test gold. In silence. Nobody's saying nothing, and I couldn't stand it. I said, Boris, kid, you had a good run, but you gotta know when to chuck it in. You can't take any more beatings like that. Think of your family. And he looked at me with those sad eyes, and he said, which one?